Welcome back. All right, so another team in the East stays hot in the second game of the day. The first game of the day, of course, is Detroit, and it's Boston in this one. Now, if anybody asks, this is one of mine. Ben still doesn't have the Centennial jerseys yet, so meet-up jersey instead, but that's I have to explain because there's a C in my name on them, but that doesn't make any sense. Anyways, I like to order them with the C. You want to get your money's worth. Anyways, Boston and Anaheim. Speaking about your money's worth, how about that third period? That being said, we'll go through the first and second period to get there. So it's Olmark versus Gibson. DeBrusk back in the lineup. He was scratched, of course, after missing a team meeting. Don't be late for meetings. It's the right message to send. And clearly, DeBrusk took it to heart, and I think he had his best game of the season tonight. So, the 4-0-0 start for the Bruins, the best they've had since 1991. Bit of a surprise with that one, considering especially last season. But anyways, first minute, there's a power play for the Ducks, and it's don't retaliate. Marchand got knocked down, gets right up, and then cross-check. Now, I'm not saying that what he was mad about may not have been a penalty. They always call the retaliation, and I was thinking of Shorzy as soon as I saw that. They always call... Learn, Liam. You always call the retaliation. Anyways, there's an early clear. There's a shorthanded Lindholm shot that deflects out. Then there's a shorthanded break for DeBrusk. He hits the post. Jones has a shot that's tipped wide. Vetrano had a shot that deflects out. Then we get 11 seconds of 4-on-4 and the power play after that for Boston. Van Riemsdyk's denied. Gudas clears on a face-off win. Pastrnak fires one wide. All is killed off. Carlo has a blast that's held on a good forecheck by the Bruins. Jones has a shot that's saved. Lacombe had a shot that was held. We get some pushing after that. Shots are 6-4 for Anaheim 6 minutes into this game. And again, Anaheim, I think, played a very good game. I don't think the record is indicative of how Anaheim's playing at all. That being said, Shattenkirk was honored in his return, and they gave him an ovation. So, come on, Ottawa. Anyways, I'm kidding. Bruins press at 7.5 minutes. Marchand can't bury one in close. Shattenkirk had a shot that was blocked. See, when DeBrincat goes back to Ottawa booed him. So I'm just saying when Shattenkirk goes back to Anaheim, but I know it's totally different. The circumstances, I get it. Anyways, so Shattenkirk has a shot that's blocked. There's a near miss by Van Riemsdyk. The Ducks cleared out. Vetrano's then denied on a 2-on-1. The teams exchange rushes. Henrique has a shot that's held. Grzelcyk takes a high hit and didn't return during the first period. It's a high hit, but I didn't think it was a dirty hit by any means. But it was a heavy hit. Geekie has a rush that's defended. We get a power play for Boston. Early clear by the Ducks. McAvoy has a shot that's saved. They cycle. Marchand to Zacha. There's a near miss there. Pastrnak has a shot that's held. Grzelcyk does return at this point. We have a 3-on-2 that ends up getting blocked out shorthanded. Grzelcyk's denied on a rush, and with 1:11 left, Gudas in a box for a second time. So Radko Gudas taking penalties. It is part of his game. It's kind of what you get. So despite the numerous chances, it won't go. The Ducks clear. Pastrnak has a shot that's kicked aside, but at the end of the first period, this one is scoreless. And at the end, it felt like Boston's getting some chances. They have the momentum. That would change in the second period. McAvoy has a shot that's blocked. Pastrnak to Zacha gets blocked as well. The Ducks finish the kill. They then had a 3-on-2 that was defended. Bruins rush the other way. Then there's a delay game call that gives the Ducks the power play. They cycle. Mintyukov has a shot that's saved. There's more cycling. Terry has a shot that's caught and held. Then there's a shorthanded rush by DeBrusk. It's killed off. 2 shots on net. And again, DeBrusk, very strong penalty killing tonight for the Bruins. McTavish is denied and close on a 2-on-1. The next McTavish chance ends up being defended. He doesn't get to the net. Henrique has a rush chance that's saved. The Ducks with some momentum. Things get pushy on a hold by Olmark. We end up with 2 minutes of 4-on-4 coming out of that. Pastrnak has a turnover chance. That's blocked. The Ducks take over. They press during the 4-on-4. Lyubushkin has a shot that's held. Bruins are all out of sorts at this point. They're all running around on the ice. And I kept thinking in the back of my mind, the streak's probably coming to an end tonight because kind of sort of has to. It's feeling like last year. Beecher has a net feed that deflects out as the Bruins get zone time. We end up getting a power play for the Ducks. Bruins clear it twice in the first minute. Zegras has a shot that's caught and held. We end up with 34 seconds of 4-on-4 thanks to some nice shorthanded play by Coyle that forces the Ducks to take penalty. Shattenkirk's denied. Gibson holds. The Bruins cycle. The Ducks block. Everything's killed off. Terry nearly had a break out of the box, just couldn't quite make it work. McTavish is denied. His next chance deflects out. So McTavish all over the ice tonight. Zegras fires one high in a rush. Zegras then fired one high again in the final minute. Zegras is just a little bit off, and it has to be frustrating for Ducks fans right now. He's just a little bit off. If those pucks start going in, he's going to go on a run. But they haven't started going in yet. So Zacha has a sharp angle shot. That saved, and we're going to the third period with the score still scoreless. So 0-0 tie going into the third. Geekie has a shot that saved as the Bruins press and is cleared. Morgan Geekie, always liked the player. I'm thinking he's really liking it in Boston after a couple of down years for him in Seattle. McTavish has a one-timer that saved. The Ducks cycle. Lyubushkin's denied. Vetrano nearly scores. In fact, Vetrano thought it was in. He kept pointing up at the Jumbotron there. It wasn't in. Got to the goal line, yes. Did not cross the goal line. Ullmark said, "You shall not pass." The Ducks press for some more. They're kept to the outside, but the shots on net are 4-1 Anaheim, 3.5 minutes in. Ducks press some more. Zegras is denied and close. The Bruins were flat at this point. Like, I can't describe to you just how much I was like, well, the Ducks are going to win this. In fact, I grabbed a Ducks jersey to put on for this review. Poitras fires one wide from the slot. DeBrusk has a shot that's blocked and cleared, and then there's a 2-on-1 rush, and McTavish buries it. So after all these opportunities throughout the game, McTavish finally gets that goal to break the ice. Strome and Vetrano with the assists at 5:05. So former Bruin Frankie Vetrano on the board. Ducks look for another. Silverberg has a shot that's held, and I write right here, Bruins are a step behind tonight. And then it happens. On a rush, Poitras, who has been excellent, he scores from Geekie and Mitchell at 6:29, and it's like this light turned on. So the Bruins look for the lead, and it's just this game of momentum shifts today. Like, you get the Bruins pressing at the end of the first. Towards the end of the second, it looked like it was going to be all Anaheim, and nope. So Bruins look for the lead. Jones steals one. The Ducks press. The Bruins a bit of puck chasing, and then Poitras scores again at 10:21. He scores from DeBrusk and McAvoy. He buries a rebound right at the net. Okay, I had to pause to let Bear out. She went to the vet today. She's a little ticked off. Bruins then press for another. She's okay. She just had to go to the vet. So Bruins press for another. Silverberg fires one wide from the left circle. And then Patrick Brown whiffs on one in close. The Bruins were spamming the forecheck button. I couldn't think of another way to describe it. So just thinking back to when I used to play NHL, and I would enjoy turning off the rules so there were no penalties and just drill everybody. Just hit everybody and everything, and it just felt like the Bruins were kind of doing a little bit of that without crossing the line and needing to turn the rules off. Just really smart forecheck, and it was the Geekie line most of the time that was doing this, and it feels like they elevated the Bruins the rest of the way. So teams are exchanging turnovers. Carlo bails out a Poitras turnover, so Poitras had the 2 goals, and then a turnover. He's lucky that didn't end up in the back of the net, but Carlo's good for bailing your defenseman out, or bailing your forward out. Strome's denied as the Ducks look to tie it. The Ducks press. Fowler has a shot that's blocked. Ullmark holds as the Ducks press with 2:51 left. And then we go to commercial, and I knew when we came back the goalie pull would happen, and it did. And the thing with doing that during the commercial, you're giving the opposition a chance to plan things out. So Boston, at 17:26, gets the insurance. It's Marchand into the empty net from Coyle. And so, then the Bruins ice it with 2:09 left. So they pull the goalie again with 1:01 left. The Bruins get a power play, which essentially ends the game. And for the first time in 86 years... 86 years since the Bruins started the season 5-0-0. It just doesn't feel like it should be that rare, but it is. So Boston's 5-0-0. The Ducks sadly dropped to 1-4. And I mean that sincerely, because I don't think that record reflects the Ducks' play, right? I think they've played well. They do need to start scoring some more goals. They need more finish. They're playing well. They're playing their game plan. Just look at the shots. 13-8 Boston in the first. 10-4 Anaheim in the second, 15-11 Anaheim in the third. Final shots 33-28 for the Ducks. Power plays, Boston 0 for 5. So they outshot Boston, and they killed all 5 power plays. Anaheim 0 for 3. The hits 18-15 Anaheim. Ullmark was great. 32 saves on 33 shots. Maybe he is going to follow up last year with another remarkable season. And Gibson, 25 saves on 27 shots. I thought Gibson played really well too. Overshadowed a bit by Ullmark, but again, for the Ducks, there's a lot to take from this game. There's a lot they can build on. And for Boston, now they go to Chicago for the Tuesday night 16-game affair. And really, it was a game that was not the most entertaining through 2 periods. And again, it's an example of how the Boston Bruins are not winning games with like beautiful moves and great, flashy kind of style like Detroit. Detroit has this really flashy, fun to watch game. Boston, not so much, but they're winning. And that's the key thing, right? They're still winning the games. And we'll see, like I said, their next game is against Chicago. They likely end up going to 6-0, I would think, which would be the first time since, 1937, something like that. Some ridiculous number since they went 6-0 to start the season. But we'll see if they actually do that or not. Because Chicago at home, I think, is still going to be tough. And they're coming off of a couple of rough losses themselves. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, pretty impressive start to the season for Boston. They're doing what they have to do without Bergeron and Krejci. And they're not whining about it. They've changed their formula. And they admit that it's still a work in progress. But it's a work in progress that's 5-0. And that might be scary to the rest of the East. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.